Morning folks, Matt here. We bought ourselves an air conditioner for the tractor. It's a Out Equip Pro. It is a 10,000 BTU air conditioner that we got off of Amazon. And audio failed on us, but I thought I'd just do a voiceover here to let you know what was in the box. We're just making sure that we have everything. We're going to get started on it in the morning, but we wanted to open everything up and make sure that we had everything to get the job done. So we thought we'd give it a look here. Everything seemed really well packed, had all the foam insulation, everything that we need to seal the unit to the cab. Normally these things are made for RVs, but we bought it for our tractor. And I'm guessing these pieces are to seal around the interior part. Here's our wiring that is already pre-connected. I believe it was 12 foot of wiring. Some of the foam got a little broke, but it seemed like nothing else was harmed. Lift up the main unit. It's pretty heavy, pretty bulky thing. One guy could handle it, but just barely. I think it's better for a two-person thing. Roll this over and set it off to the side. This is an inverter style compressor, or inverter style air conditioner with an inverter compressor, like your mini split units are. There's our interior control unit and our remote control. Our bolts to bolt the two together through the cab, and some wire ties and an extra vent, which is really nice to have because things get broken and it's nice to have all that stuff. That is our interior control unit and interior vent. It was all packaged really well. This is our supposed to be square seal that goes around the top of the cab of whatever you're going to put this on, and then it seals. That's the seal between the air conditioner and the cab. And these are support braces that go behind the air conditioner to support the back end of it to keep it from wiggling around. Those are the clamps that go between the air conditioner and the cab, between the air conditioner and the control unit. And this is just a big bezel ring. So if your hole is too big, or if you're going with a you're replacing a bigger air conditioner, you can put this on to cover up all the extra hole. And it has some control codes in case things go wrong to read right there. And then of course the instructions. If all else fails, read the instructions, as my father used to say. But it looks like that's it, folks. I think everything's there. I was really worried about the seals and the wiring. I wasn't sure if it came with the wiring or not, but it did, so we are set to go. And tomorrow morning we're going to start bright and early and get this thing installed. We'll see you in the morning. Morning folks, welcome back. My name's Matt. We are not at Talbot Lake, but this is our new to us tractor. My son Lance has had this thing for about 1.5 years. We've been trying to get the air conditioner working, and he has replaced literally everything, and we still can't get it to work. And it's very frustrating, and we're all just kind of really burnt out on it. So today's project is air conditioning, but we're going to go about things a little bit different. I've been looking around and researching, and there are several 12-volt air conditioner units out right now. Several name brands, but there's several different options. Sorry, I lost my place. There's several different options available, and I've been looking at different sizes, different options, different power ratings, different BTUs. There's lots of different things to go off of. But after some research, I found one on Amazon that takes, most of the hole sizes are 14 by 14 for a rooftop RV air conditioner system. And there are some that are made for big trucks that will like bolt to the back of a cab, but I don't really have that because I have a back window here. And I need to keep that so I can look back behind me to look at implements and things like that. So the best option is rooftop. And the one that I found that seems to work the best only has a 9x14 opening, which after doing some measuring and things like that, I think we've got a perfect spot. Yesterday I went ahead and took the metal, there's a 2.5 foot by 3 foot metal plate that goes up there that you get to all the air conditioning stuff. I've already taken that off, cleaned it up, repainted it. I need to do a little cleanup now, but we have an air conditioner here that I think is going to work. The brand I chose, and it's funny, these Chinese companies come up with such weird names, but it's Out Equip Pro. I've seen lots of good reviews on it. It doesn't pull a whole lot of power when it's running, and I'm actually pretty excited about using it. So I've ordered one in off Amazon. They are not paying me to do this. I bought this on my own. So if anybody needs to see the receipt, I'll show you the receipt. But we're going to try to get that done today. Y'all come along. We have an internal headliner in there that has a recessed area in it that looks like it'll be perfect for our control unit to fit in. So we just got to measure and get all that straight where it needs to be. But it looks like if we start from a foot from the back, will be the beginning of our recess up there. This is the roof of our cab. I took this off yesterday, gave it a fresh coat of paint. It's not exact color, but it's close enough. Can't see it up there anyway. But cleaned all the old silicone and gasket off of it, and just gave it a nice coat of paint so it'd be fresh to start cutting on it. Alright, this is our interior control panel, and it has you know, your fan and power controls, but it also has some adjustable vents to like keep nice cool air blowing on top of my bald head. But it'll be upside down in there like this inside. But I'm just trying to get an idea of where we can cut. There's a trim ring, and I want it to look nice, but also want to make sure that we have room to do all the things that we need to do. We went 14 inches up. We have 14 inches, but I think to make room for the trim ring, I'm going to come back about a ½ inch. Okay, there's our pattern. I'm going to grab a grinder with a cut-off wheel. We'll cut that out real quick. Shouldn't take me just a minute. Well, I almost did it. I almost effed up. Seems like when I looked at this thing, I thought it doesn't matter which way it goes, but it does. There is a front and a back, and I almost cut that out of the front instead of cutting it out of the back, so almost had a major boo-boo. I'm glad that I'm sure thankful for Paul behind me for asking, and I was like, oh no, it's fine, but it's not fine. It is backwards. So let me redraw my square on this side, and then we'll cut. Hang on. Step one, done. The paint I'm using is a 2-in-1 primer and paint, so go ahead and give it another coat real quick just to seal off the edges. Alright folks, there's not really room for two people to stand up here and work on this thing, so I'm just going to get up here and I'm going to clean off our sealing surface up here where that plate bolted down. You can tell over the decades that it's been taken off and on several times. Whoever had this before us must have had lots of problems with the AC, but it needs a good cleaning before we start putting things back on. Maybe even a coat of paint to keep it from rusting. But I'm gonna take the old handy dandy brake parts cleaner, known to cause California in the state of cancer, and some rags, and just clean things up. So just give me a couple minutes. We just got this forklift. I got a buddy that where he works at Aeromotor Windmill. They bought a new one, and this one had some issues, and I was able to fix the brake issues and stuff. You have to name all your equipment, right? Everything has to have its name. Like my truck's Big Booty Judy. We haven't named the tractor yet, but it's gonna have to be some big wide butt thing, but it's a Toyota forklift. We're just gonna call it Yoda. Lift things I can. So I've got the top kind of cleaned up. I'm gonna grab our top plate, the cover that we cut our hole in. I'm gonna lay it up here so I can put that on the roof and just kind of put it in place and mark the headliner underneath where the headliner's at, so I can see where we need to cut it out. Instead of taking a chance on mismeasuring, we'll just get it exactly below.
Like a glove.
Like a glove. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this I'm going to use it to mark where we need to cut underneath. Sorry, sir. I think I already shook your hand. Okay, so next step, we already cut our hole in our metal roof up there, and I just put it up there, centered up the holes, and marked the plastic. And I'm going to cut out the plastic a little bit too small. We can always trim a little bit if we need to. The headliner's that old ABS plastic, and it's been in the Texas sun for 43 years, and it's a little brittle, just a tad bit brittle. Yeah. Here's Johnny. So we're going to take the cover off this thing and reroute the power cable. The one complaint that I've seen on other reviews online was that the power cable is sticking out the back. And I haven't measured this, but I think it's about 12 feet, which will be enough for us to go down our A-pillar right to our batteries. But it's coming to the outside of the AC, and we needed to go down through our hole that we cut so that it will be protected inside the cab. The last thing I want is a power cable on the outside of a tractor where it can be run into something. I mean, I'm perfect and I would never run into anything like a tree or anything, but I know Paul may come and run the tractor one day and things might happen. So just to protect that cable, protect this cable, we're gonna reroute it back through, and we gotta take this off and it goes down inside. Then we'll bolt it to our plate so it'll all be ready to go. Stick it over the tractor, run the power down, set it down, and bolt it down. Hopefully it's that simple. easy to find that screw when I'm shaking the whole thing around?
Yeah, dude, it's real.
I figured. You're welcome.
It's actually helping me out.
You're welcome. Anything for you, bro. Landon here is my I don't know. Landon's my dude. He's my professional AC and plumbing guy. So we'll see if anything gets messed up and doesn't work right, it'll be his fault.
Right, man.
All right. So we've lifted this up. I looked at the instructions and I looked at a couple of videos online, and they're just bringing the power line right back along here through. We have to open up this hole a little bit to make a little bit more room, and then I'm going to see if I can find some more butyl or silicone to help close up the hole, and then it's going to go in the blower hole where the cold air blows inside the cab, and we'll just bring it right back out. It'll come along on the tractor and then down the A-pillar. So I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough power cable. We got the cover back on after we relocated the cable. That wasn't too hard. It was harder getting the cover on and off than it was, or getting that foam thing off and back on than anything else was. Now we have to decide if we're gonna put this on the plate first and then try to set the whole thing up there, or if we're gonna put the plate on first and then try to set this on it. And now that I'm sitting here looking at the plate, it has a screw underneath, or there's actually 3 screws that will be underneath this. So we're gonna have to put that plate on first and then put this down on the top of it. So, all right, I'm gonna go get some sealant that I bought, some MP1 and a caulk gun, and we're gonna put that plate on. This is called a fish tape, and it's mainly used for home electrics, but we use it in the automotive field a lot too. So the problem with taking old farm equipment apart like this, or any of this old equipment apart, is bolts rust and break, and it's just really frustrating. I don't know what these little types of nuts are called, but they slide. They're made to slide over a hole like that, and then you can put whatever you want on top and go through, and it's got a nut on the back. And they have a tendency of rusting and coming apart. And we've got several of them that are broken. Several of them okay, but several of them are broken. So I went down to Angelo Bolt, which is a local bolt supplier here. They seem to have everything. And they didn't have the exact size that I was after, but they had these, and they're close enough. We made that with that several times now. Almost for you. But they went against us, so they're certainly not bad. This red silicone that my son used, it's over a month old, it's still not dry. Yeah, this electric, pumping in is miracle. All right, folks, so we've got our hole cut, we've got everything ready to go in, we've got our fish tape pulled through, we can hopefully pull our wire down. I think at this point we can get our air conditioner and set it up here, and then we'll bring it in and set it. We'll use the forklift to hold the air conditioner above our hole, and then try to run our power through. And then once we get the power through, we can set it down, and everything after that is underneath. This is the one thing that I'm disappointed with this kit. I mean, like, actually disappointed is that's not a square opening. I don't care what you do, it's never going to be perfectly square. But it's just aggravating. It's not that hard to come up with something that would fit a little bit better. Here. There's one back in there. I was beginning to wonder if it's going to happen, but we finally managed to get the power cable to make that corner to head down the A-pillar. And with Tucky pulling and me pushing and twisting and wiggling to make the connections and stuff flop back and forth, it finally made its way down through there. So I was worried about that. I think that's good. Let me get my hardware and clamps.
Like it?
I think we got it, dude. The one thing they did do for us is they gave us lots of hardware. And I'm not sure the difference, but we got several studs and they gave you plenty of extras, which I like. So now I just got to put studs. There's stud anchoring points already in the air conditioner. So I'm going to put I'm going to put 4 of these studs in there, and then we'll fish these braces up there and bolt it down, and this will squeeze the air conditioning unit down to the roof and hold it tight. And it'll squeeze it down on our gasket, and our gasket had those little, I don't know if I showed it to you, but inside the gasket they had these little like 1 inch tall hard plastic risers. And those are to keep you from being able to collapse it too far. So it lets the foam collapse, but it doesn't collapse too far. So anyway, those guys out there hooking up the power. Just a few things here, and we'll be done, ready to turn it on. Man, things are moving right along now. We got Landon and Tucky out there. They're wiring things up, and I got my 4 studs installed, and there's 2 clamps, and I've got all that started, and I'm just gonna pull all that together and pull it down to the roof. And once I get that done, I can start pulling the wiring down and hooking up our inside control panel. I'm excited. I'm sorry about the noise while we're installing. I did not know that the Hopper House guys were going to be here today, but they are awesome guys. They get out here. It's kind of a Christian, it's Christian-based halfway house. It's not really a halfway house, but it is. But you talk about a good group of guys. Chris Hopper runs it. He's got Big Mike out here runs the car wash that they do almost every weekend, at least during the summer. And they hustle. They get out here and they make a couple $100 spending money every weekend. So I donate water in the parking lot and they get after it. So if you're in San Angelo on a weekend in the summer and you want your car washed, stop by West Texas Off-Road at 1811 West Beauregard and get those guys to wash your car. Shameless plug. They're awesome guys. All the Chris Hopper guys. Chris Hopper and all his guys are just awesome people. All right, people. So pay attention to where the wire comes out of here. Woo! That'll get your attention. Because if it comes out on the wrong side of this group of wires, So this unit is the unit that has the auxiliary heater in it too. Don't think I need the heater because it's West Texas, but you never know. So I went ahead and got, it was like, I don't know, like an extra 50, 75 bucks, something like that. But with the heater wires in the way, then you got to make sure that all this stuff comes down on the other side of those wires. Make sure that you get the wires on the right side up there where they'll hang down far enough that you can attach everything. And then you can start attaching. Hey, we got power. We got a little gap here, so I must not have gotten things exactly right. But we have a headliner we're going to put in, and we have that other. They sent a big, huge bezel ring that I can trim to fit if the headliner doesn't cover that gap. Oh, cold air!
It works. I can see your beard hair moving.
Now that feels good.
Yeah.
On the old bald head. And that is awesome.
I just love when a plan comes together.
Yep. I don't know if making it run with a little bit higher voltage will help or not, but it's blowing nice and cool right now.
The pressure behind it, nice?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Climb up in here. Hey, look. Let's get cozy. Right?
Can we all get in there?
Yeah, there's room for
Yeah,
everyone.
dude, it's got some power behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, right with that close to your face, dude, you're good.
Especially with a hat on. Man, that feels awesome. Well, folks, that I don't even know what time it is. What time is it?
Exactly 10.
It is right at 10 o'clock. So in 4 hours time, we pulled everything to the back, pulled the tractor out, cleaned everything out of the tractor, pulled the headliner out, cut the holes. I mean, we did everything in 4 hours, in less than 4 hours, because we didn't really start till about 6:15. I got here at 6, and that includes, that 4 hour includes us joking around and having a good time and razzing on each other. So I would say if we'd have hunkered down, we probably could have done it in 2.5, 3 hours. So the way it ended up with that trim ring on the inside, it's got a little gap about a 1/2 inch wide, but they sent this to cover up all that. So I'm going to take this and I will measure that distance that we have, and I will trim this off right here and put this trim ring on. But I have a headliner in a box right behind you guys that I'm gonna put that headliner up too. So I'm not gonna do any of that until I get that headliner ready to go, and it takes a little bit of prep. So tractor's out there running, AC's running, felt awesome. I think the instructions said that it was 10,000 BTU, and it probably is. It feels about as good as a regular car AC blowing as far as how hard it blows. I don't know that I would trust this in a huge RV, but man, for the inside of a tractor, the inside of an implement, I think this is a game changer. I've already spent, the rebuild kit for that tractor for the AC was like $1,700–1,800 with new lines and a new condenser and all the stuff, plus Freon. So I've already spent, I think it was like right at $2,000 that I've already spent on that tractor trying to get the AC to work. And it worked for like 5 minutes and then blew a line. And now, even though we replaced the line, other things are bad. So I'm sure now it's dumped metal in and plugged up other things that it wasn't supposed to plug up. And instead of buying all that stuff again, this was a much, much cheaper option. I wish I'd have just done this from the beginning. Now, only time will tell on how well it works, but I will give you guys an update probably by the end of the summer. It is August, it's the first weekend of August right now. So it is 105 on average during the day right now. I think the laser thermometer we used inside the cab showed it was like 106, 108, I don't remember now. But the air blowing was like 66, 68. So it's out there running. We'll give it a few minutes to see if it helps cool off the inside of that cab. I do also have an insulation and sound deadening kit to go in that cab also, and that will help. My son Casey said he went tint the windows, and that will help. So all these little things are going to add up to a huge difference in the end. I just feel bad that I wasted all the money on trying to make the factory stuff work, the 40-something-year-old factory stuff work, when I should have just done this from the beginning. Again, they did not pay me to do this. I bought this with my own money. But I will say, I'm probably going to reach out to them and say, will you help us out with one for the skid steer? Because this on top of the skid steer would make a huge difference too. But I think that's it, at least for today. I'm going to go buy these guys some lunch and or at least a cold drink. We're going to let that run for a little while, see how it does. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.